Hey fish friends, Zenzo with Tazawa Tanks, back with another video. Alright, so I'm down in the fish room and I'm wearing the bro gear again. I just came back from the gym a little while ago and started messing around in the fish room trying to figure out what I want to do. So in my last video, I think it was my last video I talked about the expansion that's going on, and so I was down here kind of measuring and trying to figure out what I wanted to do, what kind of tanks I wanted to keep. And there's a few things that I've been thinking about, so I'll share that with you. But anyway, so I decided that I think I'm going to start with 11 more tanks. That kind of seems to work with what I want to do and the space that I have available. I could probably squeeze in a couple more, but for now I'm going to go with 11. And that way I can really focus on not trying to, do too many tanks at once, and I can really focus on the fish I want to keep. And I have a couple ideas. So obviously I'm into cichlids, so if you follow my channel, you know that I'm into cichlids, primarily African cichlids, although I am falling in love with some of the New World cichlids. So that may come soon as well. But so some of the tanks are going to be kind of, focused or set up for African cichlids, either getting new stock, the extra fry that I'm getting, so breeding obviously, and some of the smaller cichlids like my multifasciatus that are just growing and growing. I've got the Burchardi, so I might do a colony of them as well. So anyway, so that's going to be part of it, but there are some other things I want to do. One of the things I'm interested in doing and in watching some of the aquarium co-op breeding for profit videos, and Bob at Steamfod Aquatics, he had a breeding tank as well, and that's doing like a tank with a bunch of live bearers and plecos. And in talking to some of the local fish stores and seeing what they might be interested in buying from me, those were some of the fish that they discussed with me. So I think I'm going to try my hand at that. I've actually got some plecos going. They're not breeding yet. They're too small, but I've got some that I brought in. So I might start with those. I've got some guppies that I pulled out of my daughter's tank and put a bed up there. So I've got some here. I'll probably get some more. And then the other thing that's exciting for me and for other fish geeks in the area is I'm part of the San Francisco Aquarium Society. So that's the local fish club for the greater Bay Area. There's also the Pacific Coast Cichlid Association that's down in San Jose. But here in San Francisco we have the Aquarium Society. It's the fish club, and there's a monthly meet every month. And then once in a while there is what's called a mega auction. And the mega auction is when the sole focus of the meet is an auction, where a lot of the other meets there's always an auction. It's smaller, but there's a guest speaker, whether it be there's lots of guest speakers. But anyway, this coming Friday, tomorrow, is the mega auction. So I've got my list of things that I need. I'm mostly focused on hardware and tanks and things like that. So I'll probably buy some fish. I know I'm going to buy some plants, but my main focus is to see how many tanks I can get and how many sponge filters I can get and how many air pumps and things like that. So I'm going to go with a stack of cash in my pocket and hopefully score on some good stuff. So anyway, one of the things I'm interested in keeping, and this is just kind of something that triggered when I saw someone's tank recently, and that's doing like a brackish water tank, but really taking water or fish that you would normally keep in freshwater and transitioning them over to brackish water. And I'm not quite sure how high in the salinity scale I want to go. But recently I saw a molly, perfectly healthy, doing very well in a saltwater tank. And it started off as a freshwater fish and kind of was transitioned over to brackish water. And now it's in a full-on salt tank. So I was blown away by that. I've seen them in brackish waters, obviously, but I had never seen them in a saltwater tank. I'm not going to go full salt, but so that got me thinking about what other fish I might want to keep that would do well in a brackish tank. So that's one of the projects I want to have coming in the medium future. I'm not sure how quickly I'm going to get that rolling, but that is one of the things I want to do. The other thing I'm going to do down here is, ever since I added the dehumidifier, the temperature of this room has increased. The heat wave that we had here in San Francisco is gone, so now we're back to normal foggy weather and it's cooler. And it has been a little humid. But one of the things that with the dehumidifier is that it's raised the temperature of this room. And what I am going to do with one of my racks is not run any heaters. So in all these tanks right here, these all have individual heaters, and the heaters are all, set up for that size of tank, whether it's a 50 watt or 100 watt or whatever size. This one's bigger than that. But I want to get away from that if possible, just because it becomes costly from an energy standpoint and having to buy a bunch of heaters. So like if I'm going to have to buy 11 more heaters, and that's 11 more heaters I have to plug in, and you can imagine the energy bill. What I've noticed, and I've been checking the ambient temperature of this room lately, and it's hovering between 74 and 76 degrees on average. Right now it's on the warmer side just because it hasn't cooled down completely down here. So that's good. That means that the dehumidifier is increasing the temperature of the room, and I will be able to keep some fish without heaters. So I think I'm going to do like some of the live bears in some of the tanks in the far wall, and I'll probably do those without heaters, and some other fish that don't necessarily need or like warmer temps. Like for example, I've got these white cloud minnows, and they're spawning, and I've got a bunch of fry, and I just saw more fry yesterday that are like so tiny. So I'll probably do those in a cooler tank, things like that. So anyway, that's kind of what's new and on the horizon. I did share with my wife yesterday. She came down here wanting to check on Oscar, and he's doing very well, by the way. And if you've seen my other videos, you know that I'm rehabilitating him, and he eventually is going to go back to one of my customers' tanks. And my wife got a little sad when I told her that he's going to be going away eventually. She said, well, why can't we keep him? And I said, well, first of all, he's an Oscar, and he's in a 20-gallon tank, so it's fine for now because I'm doing water changes 3 times a week or plus or whatever. And he's not full grown. He's about 8 inches. I said, but he's going to be too big for this tank, obviously. I'd have to get a much bigger tank. So, I kind of explained to her that he has to go. And she got a little sad. So maybe that means that I'll get another big tank in the future and maybe do some larger cichlids like this, because that was fun. Anyway, that's all I had for today. I have a busy day tomorrow because it's the fish auction. So, and tomorrow's going to be crazy. I'm actually getting up at 4 in the morning, and I'm driving 130 miles from here to do a track day in my car, because cars are also one of my passions. So I'm going to a racetrack about 2.5 hours from here, and I think it's more than 130. Anyways, far. I'm going out there, and I'm going to do the track day for the majority of the day, and then race back to, not race, but drive the speed limit back to San Francisco, quickly, change and switch cars and get all my stuff together and head to the auction and hopefully buy some stuff. So a busy day, a lot to do. Got to get some stuff done tonight, but just wanted to make a quick little video. So as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate your viewership. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you are a subscriber, please hit that little notification bell, and that will tell you when I am uploading a new video. So my goal and what I've been doing so far is to do 2 videos per week. I typically do a Wednesday upload and a Sunday upload. I was trying to aim for Wednesday and Saturday, but because of my work and because I've traveled so much for work, it's very difficult for me to sometimes get a video out by Saturday morning. So if I have them released every Sunday morning, that gives me Friday night and all day Saturday to edit and things like that. So anyway, so you're watching this video. Today's Thursday. It's going to be coming out on Sunday, so I'll have already gone to the track day. Hopefully it was good and successful. I will have already been to the aquarium auction, so I might have lots more stuff down here by that time. So anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.